Failure is not the enemy of success as our 1-1 teams look to benchmark themselves and launch off that pad of experience of 2 best of 1s to get themselves to that match point. My name's Asterix. I'll be joined for Kobe, or with Kobe rather. For Kobe sounds better, as you'll be alongside with me for 4 awesome games today, which I half believe teams are standing in right now. We've got some good teams in this lineup.
Yeah, and I saw Nuke up there already scratching his head. Coach of FlyQuest trying to figure out what to do in the pick bans here.
Is that good or bad?
Honestly, I think it's good.
Okay.
So both, it's interesting because we always talk about Busio Bard, but Taki plays Bard a lot as well, so we assume that is going to be pretty contested in this one. Last time around, you know, FlyQuest led the Bard through versus T1, gave it to Carrier. They bit the bullet on that one. Mid lane, though, is definitely a big focus. One thing with Dire is he's not that great at, like, Talia and Azir. So sometimes you have to worry about that, but we'll see this time because Orianna and Ryze have been some of the, basically the 2 most premier blind pick mid laners, and so taking those 2 out early. Wukong's still up though, and to me, with the fall of favor of Jarvan, even though I still think the champ is fine, really liking early Wukongs. Even early Trundles have had a lot of success for jungle.
And I mean, other AD carries as well to mention for first pick, as Talia does go as well. If we're going for what could be blue side 1, we have seen Caitlyn here and there. We've seen Sion as well. We know it's FlyQuest, and I know Massu feels like such a great Kaisa, but so is Eddie. So maybe there is some priority in taking away comfort for a single BO.
Well, I got some lore for you because Bwipo always hovers Kaisa. And
I know that too as well.
Yeah,
it's tricky.
It's more of a shout out, but it does mean that the first pick is more highly anticipated here. Although dive comps are very successful.
Yeah,
there's the Wukong I was talking about. Really feel like that is just king of the jungle at the moment, just because your team fighting is so good. And Wukong as well fits into the way that FlyQuest like to play the game.
Yep.
They do like to be controlled and keep inspired on very efficient farming up until they actually bring together some of these team fights. They really like to build for these full 5-on-5s, not necessarily rushing into anything too early. Meanwhile, TSW love rushing in, and so they're the ones that go Aurora, Kaisa for the engage.
They like smash face, and so far I see that as a comp that can really send it. Let's see how Fly respond. As you said, you know, we've already got inspired on something solid for the team, but pairings are super important when you already see Aurora on the board. Potential flex, but we're assuming we'll most likely go mid.
Yeah, you know you're facing just dive comp here, so preparing for that. This is, thankfully for FlyQuest, something they are used to playing. You know, they're used to playing 100 Thieves in the LCS, which is a very aggressive team that likes to fight a lot as well, and does show a lot of this style. So FlyQuest responses here, you know, get their brick wall of a front line. The Sion super early for Bwipo, and the Wukong already in place for Inspired. So I think they're feeling quite good. We'll see about if they want other anti-dive or, you know, like counter-engage type stuff to round it out.
Both there. Alistar gets locked in. Quick side note, first time Bwipo is not on the Mordekaiser, which has just been his, I guess, small answer into tank matchups for this tournament. But it is nice to see him on a completely different role instead of that AP Juggernaut top. And as we digress and see if TSW going to match this Alistar, because normally it'd be the Rel with the Kaisa.
Yeah,
but they might go past it, as Qiyana has also been ban-worthy in this tournament.
Exactly. And it was specifically versus Hizto as well, previously banned. VKS respected him there for that one, and he had some good games on it already. Proved he is a good Qiyana, so you're going to get more of the same that we were just talking about. They are diving, they're looking for flanks, they're trying to assassinate your backline. Again, this is not going to be a surprise to FlyQuest, and FlyQuest seem like their plan is to fight front to back, build a kind of solid team comp, and try and protect their normal carries that you usually get here for Quad and Massu, where you expect Quad to go just whatever sort of stable control mage will be left up. Looks like TSW are trying to target Massu and take away safer AD carries, because he knows he's going to have to survive quite a scary dive.
Yeah. And how does he thrive there? I mean, other AD carries, Kobe will start throwing out things like Ezreal maybe, if there is enough damage, depending on what hero ends up playing here in the top lane. Rumble also being taken out and giving Bwipo a safer lane. I think very important when we've seen that, like, not many things deal with Sion. He has a stable enough laning phase, one of the best tank laners at the moment as well. And it's so easy to just ban away 1 or 2 champs like the Rumble, like even, You know, we've seen things like Galio neutralizing top laners that can go into it.
Yeah, Aatrox is another
That's much better
good
example.
option up there. Yeah, okay, so Victor, one of the other control mages we were talking about, Quad had a really good Victor game that was pretty smooth scaling for him and ended up being the biggest damage dealer of the entire match. So not too big of a surprise there, but let's see if there's anything else that FlyQuest here do want to target. Maybe any supports from Taki here, since they do have the Alistar already. A little bit of protection. Yep, there you go. The Poppy support banned out. I think that's wise considering the Alistar and the Wukong that they already have.
Do you just pull out the Nautilus here, match into support, and then leave that Aurora still technically as a flex? I mean, coming from EU, we have seen it top plenty of times into tank matchups because it'd be quite annoying to lane. So I think when the lane swap comes through that it has been considered quite useless. As we get our answer now. Oh my lord, no way.
Against
Bwipo as well. The audacity of Hero, I respect.
Honestly, I respect it too. Use the Mordekaiser versus a Bwipo who's been spamming it here and is very good into the Sion. Can pull multiple resources over to that side lane if the Mordekaiser does get ahead. And if you're left isolated, should get ahead. And then should be able to pull extra resources. So I do like this from TSW. Then their kind of 4-1 split push has so much potential because the 4 with Aurora and Qiyana already would have plenty of engage, plenty of threat themselves. And so could become problematic for FlyQuest. But FlyQuest, as we said, want to build very standard front to back. So they do pick up the Azir in the end. And a little bit of safety for Massu through range here. The Jhin has plenty of follow-up, but the Corki has its own dash. So does give a few more options from getting away from an Aurora Qiyana, even though that's very difficult.
One thing as a side note that we've gone past is Azir gets locked in, usually perma-banned in the tournament so far. It's been picked up one other game, and the fact again that we're just seeing it fly through to the end of stage towards quad with the Corki you just mentioned solidifies that front to back you were setting up before for FlyQuest. What an easy draft to operate.
Yeah, one of the big reasons for Azir kind of dropping priority is the recent changes, you know, kind of nerfing the early game. So we'll see about the scaling for FlyQuest. This is pretty often what they try and do. You know, if they're facing an aggressive team like that, they'll try and scale into some mid-game team fights.
Yep.
It makes me a little nervous, though. Vietnam, it's are very, very good at pushing the aggression, and they definitely are built to do it here.
They're like Gam, but scarier, you know. I mean,
but younger, more youthful.
That's it. It's the age that has to do with it, isn't it? There was so much story about Hizto and Dyer coming in, and in their rookie year being these mechanical geniuses that have, you know, kind of taken the world by storm as well. Now, they've only played 2 best of ones, but for Team Secret Wales, they're on champions that can carry here. There is a lot of energy coming out of the dive. We talked about a lot of snowballing that could happen in this comp. And that's what you want to see when their style has been, look, we send it, we skill check. We're not a heavy macro team, and I think a lot of people would say that and see that.
Yeah.
But they're a team that can skill check you any day.
Yeah. I am a little nervous for FlyQuest. I mean, again, they're very accustomed to doing this, but if you just scale and do nothing, and then you lose and lose and lose and lose stuff on the map, then it's very embarrassing. But if you scale, and then you win the mid-game team fights,
then it's not embarrassing.
Then it's great. Then it looks great. So
we don't want FlyQuest to be embarrassed, do we?
People will be ready to say, "Oh wow, you just you know, didn't do anything and then lost." But
I love you covering all angles, making sure we're going into this one with everything covered. Welcome back to Worlds. It has been a privilege and a pleasure so far. I mean, it is delivered. Our 1-1 teams look great for the runner today.
So, they're definitely expecting a lane swap here, as the Sion Mordekaiser matchup is annoying, and the ward in the side brush is already there, our expected lane swap detecting ward, but Bwipo kind of shows to give false info, and he's going to stay up there. Interesting. So Bwipo is going to recall a little bit later. I assume he's recalling. Okay, good. Yeah, he's recalling. Massu's headed over through jungle. Let's see if they actually complete it. Yeah.
Top side defensive here from TSW, just a side note as well. Yeah, they're doing exactly that.
So
right.
the new lane swaps, by the way, with the top lane timer moved to 4 minutes, mid lane timer moved to 2 minutes and 15 seconds, or at least it already was 2 minutes and 15 seconds. We do get supports laning with bottom for, you know, the first 2 minutes basically.
Yep.
And then 2:15, they can go mid lane, and then they mess with the mid laners for a while. And then they still roam around through river. They can mess with junglers, then they go back and mess with mid laners for a while. And then at 4 minutes, then they can finally go up to the top lane.
Okay, nice pop away. I do feel like, again, like, yeah, we have seen, what is it, maybe 70-80% of games with this happening, especially on blue side as well. And I believe Alistar only yesterday or the day before throw him up towards mid as well. Quick side note as well, we talked about it heavily. Seeing Inspired on Wukong might give a lot of faith to NA fans. I think Hizto we already mentioned as well, when this guy is such an aggressive jungler. Seeing him on the Qiyana, that's a bit of faith too, especially when Qiyana this tournament has been great. But let's pause, Decimating Smash fully channeled in the bot side with Grasp of the Undying, and Bwipo takes Taki to court.
Yeah, a couple of bruisers there with some decent chunk damage onto the Rakan. Getting vision control here through the brush too.
He knows he's going there, interrupted. The Decimating Smash at range again. Bwipo's done some really good damage. The return here, not too much, as Eddie just tries to get that second skin and takes Busio down low, half HP. Taki's just out of range again. These trades are more exciting than you would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of a fun lane here to see the beef balls here versus a regular duo lane. Meanwhile, on the top side, a lot of the top laners kind of used to having to lane into 80 carries nowadays. We did see a little bit of a camera pan before, and Massu missed some CS, but still applying some pressure to the Mordekaiser and trying to push him in. Also does mean that both junglers have easy full clears for themselves, and will complete those momentarily.
Meanwhile, Eddie on the chase. Bwipo tagged a little bit further as well. TSW getting a little bit back in this, especially since Taki's getting those interrupts.
And they do have to be very careful. The lane is pushing towards them, so just don't expose yourself to a Qiyana gank. If you give Qiyana early money, you'll pay for it later. So they do back off, and they let TSW push in towards them. Qiyana is still coming this side of the map, though. Are they going to go for the dive? Busio's already kind of exiting here, so are they going to try and just sacrifice the Sion, get the zombie?
They're going to try the very least. Bwipo instant flash, double matches over back into the turret. Hizto gets out because Eddie was tanking for the time being first blood to the whales.
Super good juggle of tower aggro there. And even though the zombie gets a couple of extra punches in, nice dive from TSW, you know, just tanking the tower aggro on the outside, allowing the Qiyana to go in there and get the kill. We were just saying this is such a big bonus for TSW. If they can get early money onto Hizto, it is perfect.
And right they shall. Their first blood pickaxe picked on the return as well. I believe there are topside camps respawning with Krugs first, so a position to maybe make an appearance in mid with those low health bars as well, especially before Quad gets his ulti. It's just so much burst on that edge of Ishtal when you get the Earth Element too. As Bwipo gets a push in bot wave, because Eddie had to reset here, so a couple of minions denied, and all in all, Bwipo is even with CS. It is just that kill that is now the fright, as Bwipo also gets a deep ward.
Yeah, well played kill. Again, props to Taki, just tanking tower aggro with the Rakan on the outside safely, allowing for them to get the money where they want it. We'll see what it turns into as well, because now Taki looking towards mid right after Quad just teleported back.
Gang timer, we talked about supports and they're roaming through the map. It's mid time apparently as Quad gets out, but never mind, that was so easy. It is hard to gank an Azir, but Quad made it easier than expected.
Yep, truly is. One of the reasons why Azir has been popular for a very long time in a pro. Very slippery. All right, Busio, meanwhile, is camping up around the top side. Still, it's level 6 on Mordekaiser, so...
So what are you going to do? Get ultied under turret? He's just going to back off. He's got TP. Might just be faking it as well, as Massu's got a slow push going on. Kobe, I see a monkey up in the top lane with Inspired nearby, half the way to level 6 as well when he becomes useful. There's Dai with the ulti on Quad. Get some good damage off here with the twofold Hex, and in the end, it's not bad, but that's an ulti down while TSW were covering for the fact they were starting the Dragon.
Yep, get their Dragon. It's very good for TSW to stack Dragons through this game, since they want to draw you out into the open. Meanwhile, just have Couple of tanks trading blows, but yeah, stacking dragons really, really good for this comp. So they can draw you out into the open and get there engaged so they can actually go for the attack with their Aurora Qiyana combination.
Just on the edge here, spotting out Inspired, who was on a ward. Quick side note, by the way. While we are talking about jungle matchup, you can see
Hex Flash
coming more importantly. We'll talk about that in a second. Busio interrupt. Oh no! Die sent back not once but twice. But now with the trample and pulverize in the air, the chain CC is beautifully clean from FlyQuest.
Yeah, really nice combo. Honestly, there from Busio. They're able to lock him up and they just kind of ping pong. They pass him all the way back towards their side of the map. Dire down immediately. No flash.
And I was ready to talk about jungle impact and now getting towards level 6, like how good Inspired is on this pick and the high bar we have in this best of one, with it being 15-4 on the pick historically on this Wukong. Massu's 8-0, by the way, if you wanted to know another stat about your 80 carry.
Yeah.
8-0 on Corki, not bad.
Yeah, Massu, Corki, undefeated. FlyQuest have won a lot of games.
So that's what it is.
Meanwhile, the bottom side, okay, Inspired is going for the recall here. Okay, so not going to go try and contest anything on the opposite side.
Yep.
And we'll just get the re-clears there for junglers.
Barrier there as we come back towards bot in the wave clear. Early game a little bit slow, but again, remember, it was just waiting for those ult timers. We've seen one interaction through mid, but now Inspired with it should be more active. Hizto the same with Supreme Display of Talent up and available. Grubs, 1 second, now up. As Dire's trying to get push and pressure through mid, doing burst damage on quad, but he just took absolutely nothing as Grub started by Hizto.
So Inspired is level 6, and he did go back and get his Sheen. So they should be able to secure at least one for themselves. Quad, though.
Can just get out. Hero is passing through mid. He'll get poked out, but not much to say about that until Grubs continue to be started. Hizto just comes back for round 2. And Inspired didn't get a smite on one, nor did he get one low. There's going to be at least 2, maybe even 3. As Massu has to get out, no mana. And TSW just whittled their way back in at a new angle to secure the rest.
Yeah, good timing for TSW. Inspired doesn't have enough time to try and burst one down and steal one away with this smite. And so they get all 3. Now, FlyQuest, they kept Bwipo pushing on bottom side. And this FlyQuest team, well, in the river, they might actually find some combat. But FlyQuest are looking to scale again.
Wait. Okay, we get an ulti. Hizto in response well. Supreme Display is fantastic with the shuffle. He's under 3 in the end. Dire has to run out, but he's been exhausted as he flashes away. It's his only means of escape as Busio still wants to headbutt into Pulverize, a combination that is going to be destroyed with Quad rolling in after the fact, but no one's burning anything. Flash already down for Busio. The chase ends there, and it is simply one for FlyQuest after the fact.
This is why we've been hyping up Busio for a long time.
He's clean, man.
LCS, man. He makes so many plays for FlyQuest. The coordination there was really good.
Now he gets another one as well, Trample, but it is simply auto attacks from Quad, who only has a recurve bow and a Fiendish Codex. So that's enough of that. Bwipo, meanwhile, onto Eddie. Same can be said as, yeah, Busio's been great for ages, you know. It's not just the biceps, man. It's also the game players.
You're a fan of his thirst traps, eh?
They are big biceps, though.
Regardless, the focus call from the entire team. Inspired starts it out on Hizto. Quad is going to come over from the mid lane, and so Busio just sets up Quad to get this knockdown, and they funnel the money in the correct position here. So Quad, not only is he going to get the money, he also gets the red buff for a while, and their plan of scaling, as we said from draft, with the Sion, with the Azir, with the really strong front-to-back team fight composition that they have drafted, is still in effect. This is a team that is very well accustomed, again, to playing, you know, versus teams like 100 Thieves and stuff. They're going to try and pressure them early. And FlyQuest, they'll sacrifice early objectives, but they will choose some, you know, fight positions like that where Eddie had recalled, so the Kaisa was back in base, and so they choose their moment to get a little bit of gold, because gold along the way certainly does help. Nashor's Tooth already completed for Quad, in addition to some extra magic resistance to help him versus the Aurora burst.
And on his note as well, when you have a dive comp running into Azir, I feel like he's one of the most versatile mid laners historically. His reaction to dive, can dive out, can dive in, can match.
He's got peel or offensive looks. We just saw the offensive one, but he can also do it defensively.
It's such a good punishing champion, and as you said, with that first item up and available, with Dragon number 2 now up too, maybe that influences FlyQuest to look for the contest here. It is well watered by Team Secret Wales with a river lined red currently, and Bwipo, of course, what you call the weak side with Hero being fine in the 1v1 matchup. FlyQuest pings are coming down, maybe looking to move and influence to get that dragon for themselves and stop Team Secret Whales from having control over this neutral.
Yeah, FlyQuest already positioning here through vision on the river. Busio's Hex Flash not going to be in range of anybody this time around, so no combat there, but they are looking for it.
Sion is just fine. Observers like that, because when the mace hits, there's a bit of dopamine. I get it, guys, I get it. Feel the same way when you get that solo Obsidian mace. Oh, the sound right did that on purpose.
The isolated feels really good. Mordekaiser has some clean skins as well, but the dragon that you talked about,
yeah, please,
it's kind of up there and awaiting. So we'll see the transition from TSW. FlyQuest have pre-existing vision, but Inspired goes for the recall. Wonder if he's going to cancel or actually complete that. Does he have full Trinity Force in base? Because Wukong Trinity Force, there we go. Wukong Trinity Force is huge.
Yeah, but again, the timing's big, isn't it? Glad you mentioned that, because he's going to be late here with Profane Hydra on Qiyana. It's fast. Meanwhile, FlyQuest are looking towards the top side. TP defensively as Quad runs away from the Between Worlds. A good slide out, but even with the TP up, Dragon's already done. Hero's just covering bases, and it's good objective game from Team Secret Whales so far.
Yeah, keep on stacking them. FlyQuest here are looking towards their mid-game team fights, and they'll look to try and stop the Dragon stacking. Maybe on next Dragon, I would assume, unless something goes wrong and they don't have, some good item breakpoints for their carries, which they're already coming through. Then maybe they would be able to adapt. But Trinity Forces on both Wukong and Corki is huge, and Quad was already accelerated, so the Azir was already in a fairly good spot. And they're kind of cruising up to build around this 5-on-5. Bwipo as well. It's just a very efficient buy to go to into the Kainic Rookern. Okay, the shield has been broken on the Kainic Rookern, and he took 60% of Dire's health during the time.
He did. He didn't even ult. I think he was waiting for another decimating smash to see if he could connect it. Has flash as well, so Dire has to pay respect. Bwipo's like, do I do it or not?
Yeah, I mean, Kainic Rookern just already synergizes so well with Sion, all that extra health, but being able to do it into the double AP solo lanes as well, it's just really big value there. So Dire, I mean, what kind of plays are they cooking up here? Because nobody else can teleport in, so he's just running for the minion.
He really wants the minion, so Bwipo ults him at melee range. Dire decided to come back in. Bwipo has taken a couple of turret shots, but look at his health. He can do this again as he gets the plate and looks for the re-engage and takes down Dire. Easy as pie for Bwipo on the tank.
Hysterics, I was trying to cook up what is the idea behind this play.
No one was nearby.
And the idea was, it's really frustrating to watch all my minions just dying at the tower.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to get in there.
Understandable.
I feel for that, but, sometimes you just are not allowed. Not allowed.
That's a big loss as well. Quad was already getting top turret. Bwipo is getting teleported on in means of Hex Gates here by Taki, but he's found on his flanking angle, goes back into pit. And it's not like there's a dragon or anything here. The next objective spawns topside, so for FlyQuest, having all that control on the right side of the map, now covering Bwipo, this is a great early game. 2,500 gold, and I think it came off the back of this.
Well, some of it certainly did. Even with the E missing, he didn't even need the slow. Bwipo just ults into a Q, and then you back off and you wait for your cooldowns. And Dire, does he get the cannon before he dies? I don't remember. Nope.
No,
not even get the cannon before he dies.
Not worth, I think. Call me speculative. That was not worth. Got me crazy.
Fair evaluation.
1,700 gold lead between mid laners. Not only helping because of that, but because, as we said, Quad got solo turret on the top side. As the coin-based gold grind is showing us between top laners, even Bwipo versus Hero is doing fine. And remember, Hero picked this into the side. Try to do the Bwipo special.
Yeah. And we'll see, as the game progresses. It is currently going pretty well according to FlyQuest's plan, as you mentioned, trying to scale up towards this mid game. They have a lot of gold in the places that they want, probably even more than they accounted for.
Yeah.
It's going even better.
Is this you being speculative, or are you quietly positive right now, or are you being analytical right now?
I think I'm vocally positive about it.
Vocally.
Not
spiritually.
Let's see about the Rift Herald, of course. TSW, this is certainly a team that will not just sit back and lose quietly. That is definitely something that you can count on. Even if they are down in gold, they definitely will look to like fight their way out of a loss rather than sit back in it.
Yeah, well said.
So we'll see if they are able to pull something out. Bwipo currently just split pushing on bottom side, and he has no teleport, so I assume he's just going to continue pushing, and the rest of FlyQuest are posturing.
They just leave it. They're not contesting any of these objectives, and maybe it's just smart play as Busio, never mind, finds a pick, sends it in his Spide's waiting arms. The great display of talent is great as well, though, with the grasp in. Hero has brought the plate to its knees. Team Secret Wales will match the fight even after Busio thought he found a pick. Again, they're going to send it forward into Hizto, but it's only the two of them drawn back in. Hizto flashes over. Massu flashes into the team. Taki gets out as well. The gumption on that Haiti carry is insane as Quad comes in to save the day, but Busio's close to dying. Now Quad's in threat as well. The burst so much from Team Secret Wales, and FlyQuest got bored and said, we need to fight.
I mean, so they did have two people split pushing, and they
do it again.
Yeah, I actually want the comms listening because they clearly intentionally try and make this play with three people mid, and they do get burst damage really close to lethal here, but it's not quite lethal. And since nobody had time even for TSW to recall, they cancel their recalls, and he's able to escape, as is Taki for the beginning of it, and Inspired's down. And the two split pushers for FlyQuest, continue to do so. Massu flashes over to try and clean up these kills. He does get one, but as far as your evaluations, Hysterics, I would say that was not worth because, he invests his Corki flash to
I respect it. It might not be worth, but I respect it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're having fun,
Yeah, that's a good sign, isn't it? I mean, still ahead in gold, despite the play. Massu flashing forward still gets a kill. But we just talked about Team Secret Wales, like, they want to send it. They really want to send it with this comp and with their style.
Yeah.
Got a chance to do so as Dragon.
FlyQuest also want to send it. They figured they could make a like 3v5 clip.
Yeah.
And I mean they had a lot of burst damage, but not enough.
Hey, we're talking about earning legacies. That's how you start. Massu and Busio over the years of watching them internationally and domestically.
So the question then becomes, can TSW punish this Corki now? Massu has no summoner spells. So honestly, I would like to see, follow-up repercussions for that play. This Corki here is a vulnerable target, and TSW have quite a few engage tools.
Their ults are back up and available, all 10 on the map right now as well. Fly look for mid-prio, and Hero comes from a side, while Eddie gets poked out a bit, and this third Dragon again, all the focus so that Fly can stop the sacking onto Dire. He'll get out thanks to the blast cone, but the small poke landing here that is lowering the health bars.
See if they can get any sort of poke damage first. FlyQuest with the vision, leading over towards the Dragon, but nobody's starting it while they're kind of moving here. And since TSW do have vision inside the pit, nobody's going to get baited and walk too close.
Quad to stand here. Hizto comes from a new angle, drops the Herald. Quad retreats, and Fly are still in this brush. They haven't started yet. Trying to bait them in, and the lure eventually works. Taki's the one to take it up as Bwipo goes forward as well. Again, good poke damage as ult melee range. Hero has to ult in response, and it's Judgment Day for someone if he can get them in a 1v1, but it's only Bwipo. Meanwhile, Dire flashes forward, sets himself up. It's a good ulti, but he now jumps into the hole of FlyQuest. Quad with his dying breath gets an ulti off. Flash away from any from Bwipo, but the back to front is in full effect, and FlyQuest are getting the fight they want. Baiting them in was the right call, because the whales always come.
And that's going to be Otacon as well. That was Dragon. The idea from TSW is good. They're trying to fight WoW. Inspired is taking the Dragon, so...
Do it again! Deathmating smash. Massu going to step up to this one as well. Valkyrie on top of Hizto. Flash from Bwipo, not to get caught. Massu will get the kill. The slow onto Taki. Team Secret Wales check the brush. Not once, not twice, 3 times, and they get punished for it.
Yeah, FlyQuest definitely used to handling this type of game, and they are going to stack objective on top of objective here. And they're going to be able to get that Otacon. So, Inspired, they saw him, doing the Dragon currently, and so during this Mordekaiser ultimate, TSW are talking about how they're going to go for the engage. And they get the Aurora ultimate on both Massu as well as Quad, and then they follow up. Eddie ults in, tries to burst down Quad, but as he goes down, still able to get the ult off, and Massu has enough burst damage, so then when Inspired does join, he gets the blend up the rest of the whales. And the TSW, the youngest team at the tournament here, is faced with a fairly large problem in FlyQuest here. Since Quad got focused really heavily in that last fight, it is Massu carrying the brunt of the DPS output. Exhaust was also used on Quad, and Massu had good follow-up there. The second carry. Plus, with Otacon plus the Dragon here, now FlyQuest can kind of transition into the mid-game that they envisioned. Get their 4-1 split push going, or honestly, they're 1-3-1 at this point. With Azir having flash and teleport, Quad is very, very safe in side lanes, and Bwipo is just so tanky, it takes so long to do anything about it, that they can do 1-3-1 pretty easily. So TSW, see if they can sneak in and try and attack one of the 3 lanes, one of the 3 prongs of this FlyQuest attack.
Just make it difficult though, doesn't it? Because you already talked about Quad's survivability or his safety. Massu's the same. I mean, this Corki pick disappeared for a little bit, but there is just so much survivability yourself with Valkyrie up and available. Hard to gank when that flash you also mentioned in the previous fight is now back up again. So Massu has been farming here, quite isolated. And FlyQuest now grouping up because topside seems to be the go, getting a deep invade and getting some deep vision. But Massu, almost 3 items too. I feel like if a play set up on him, he is taking someone down. This aggression has netted him benefits. Outside of the Raptor wall, everything else has been clean.
Yeah. All right. Well, with Rylai's too, the extra CC, there's just so much CC on FlyQuest, makes it fairly hard for TSW to get onto either of those carries. You already mentioned with Flash and their own peel, it's going to be hard. But the rest of it here is going to, I mean, Bwipo's just straight walking through the brush, forcing people off the map at the moment. Teleport comes in. Here we go. This is going to be another attempt.
It's on a ward, though, so Bwipo knows to reposition. Quad's just going to send it back. Hero can isolate a target, but his team's not there. Quad will jump in first, waiting for the shuffle, and there it is, the knock-up. No ult used! Hero was waiting to buy his time, and FlyQuest just didn't give him the clock.
Honestly, I feel bad for him. Just gets pummeled there on arrival, and TSW now, they're honestly not going to have very many options open to them. FlyQuest, the steamroller in this game.
TSW looking to see how they can defend even further. Taki finds an angle. There's the quickness onto Massu, but there's help. There's help here. Again, how hard is it to kill the Corki between worlds from Dire? There's great burst damage, but no follow-up. Again, Team Secret Whales grasping at straws as Quad just moves up to yet another turret and does a bit of damage.
Yeah. Taki wanted to dance with Massu, but he didn't want to dance. You know, he's able to get out there, avoid the engage for a long time, even with ult and flash used. And so maybe after the game, they'll get the dancing TikTok.
I don't know. Did Busio say he was going to dance if he won? He said dance or flex, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't want to answer. It seemed
it's a 50-50, yeah.
He pleaded the fifth on that one.
Okay. You know, as an Australian, I had to Google what that was, Kirby.
Yeah, it's just another way of saying didn't answer.
Yeah. Maybe I should know that.
Bwipo up here, though, has several attackers.
Yeah, but did you see the damage? And where is the damage on him? Okay,
it's coming
3 members. Hero decides, let's go into the death realm. Bwipo is surviving for now, and I might be wrong about that because I think he came out a while. It's hard to see with Mordekaiser, but a shutdown nevertheless as Bwipo takes 20 seconds to die.
Okay. That's a kill. What can they work with? Baron's on the table here. Let's get some action.
40 seconds until Bwipo can TP back in. Maybe it leads to something, but again, FlyQuest, a 4,000 gold ahead. Even in a 4v5, how confident are the Whales as Hizto gets deep wards, thinks of an angle?
Yeah, they want the objective bounty on the tower. I think that's a good call, trying to objective bounty.
They know. Onto Dire, headbutt pulverized. Busio again. What an angle found from this support. No wonder the biceps are so big. This guy's working hard.
Yep. Meanwhile, they do get the objective bounty for TSW, trying to get something back for themselves, but FlyQuest. Quad and Massu too strong here in the mid lane, especially the Azir. I mean, you could kind of consider Arm Guard the 3rd item, so it's basically a 3-item Azir.
Can be game defining.
Oh man, they should be able to retreat to their Dragon setup here, as long as FlyQuest keeps some sort of vision on Baron for the desperate Baron possible play. Then the Dragon should be pretty easy pickings. Massu and Inspire taking care of that one as we speak.
Just denying again that third dragon that long ago Team Secret Wales was setting up for. Doesn't seem like it's going to be a possibility anytime soon. Double for Fly. And back towards the top lane, which Bwipo has really been safeguarding up here. Making sure Team Secret Wales, again, don't get any more vision control than outside of that one ward right now in front. Bwipo stops Taki in the base, and FlyQuest, as you said, moving to 3 items. The zone is just complete. Now, simply, we saw the Seekers, now it's fully upgraded. Collector third here for Massu as well. And Bwipo, I am worried about him dying when there's less than 3 members. There's Supreme Display. Okay, Hizto wants a way out, has to flash. Inspired uses a Cyclone, but the flash down is a big tool.
Certainly is. I mean, pretty much all of the members, even the Mordekaiser, look squishy. So every member on TSW needs, like, they need their mobility, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
every flash really is critical, especially for Qiyana, because you want those super quick engage plays to try and make something happen. But with Zhonya's on quad, which we already talked about, the arm guard, and you know, Massu having barrier plus all the escape tools, it's just, honestly, looks so hard for TSW to execute this this team versus FlyQuest. We'll see though. Busio moves over back to Baron to try and clear this out, and FlyQuest could send you know, Bwipo kind of deep here. They have quad on bottom side, even without teleports. They can just keep on split pushing, continuing to funnel more money
Massu.
into him.
He's all right. Face checking a little bit safer, especially when you have that flash barrier up and available, and also Busio nearby, but just keep sending Phosphorus Bomb, seeing what's there. FlyQuest just need to clear this vision and put Team Secret Wales into a chokehold, blow some of those TPs, and this is very controlled gameplay. I gotta say, this is quite impressive, Kobe, because not succumbing to Team Secret Wales, I think, was on my bingo card for, like, teams to beat this LCP second seed, because when they beat PSG, when they beat GAM, they just succumb. They want to fight. You know, they get bored of League and they're like, we're going to fight, like FlyQuest did a little bit earlier. But so far, it's been controlled since then. They're holding this gold lead. They've got the scaling. And these side lanes are just under constant fire. Minions being denied left, right, and center again.
All right, next fight is going to be a truly explosive one and could just break the game, because FlyQuest with a large gold lead, if they win the fight next, like, Baron is just taken and then they get to destroy your base.
Yeah.
So TSW, they can kind of feel the tension here, trying to move in, get some vision, get some avenue to approach. Bwipo on the Sion just has to be the front line, the brick wall here, marking the entryway from TSW. Massu and Busio are ready.
It's a good engage, and it's a bait. They pull off of the Baron as well. Taki at half HP. Bwipo with the engage. Sets up in the choke. Dyer is the only one here for TSW. A sent away again. The Supreme Display ain't that much as Taki finds himself the quickness. He wants to dance, but Fly just don't want her as Eddie. He managed to kite this one back, and it's the best fight so far as Hero. Meanwhile, outside the Baron pit, almost kills Inspired, but coming out of the realm, there's Massu waiting as he flashes over as well. Bwipo will finish the job. It's a triple for Massu, but he's Penta a bit out of reach as Eddie tries to find him in the backline. Stepping up, Massu gets a Quadra, and Dyer, the Penta, has run away as FlyQuest style in a breach of a fight.
Yeah, I got a little worried when Quad kind of face planted Azir right into the middle and got hit with the Qiyana ultimate, but on the kite out, FlyQuest, they get the return kills and they still get the Baron. Hysterics.
Man, I tell you what, this tank unkillable, so annoying to deal with, as FlyQuest just send it in.
They do. Bwipo first on the entry, and then Inspired goes top to fight the Mordekaiser, and Quad goes straight into the middle, into the double carries, and gets hit by the Qiyana ulti, putting him in a very vulnerable position. Then when you get the shutdown, and Eddie's able to pick up that kill, they start to chase you out. It's Busio again, who just gets this set up for Massu, locking up the Mordekaiser. Massu gets the burst kill, flashes over to safety, and then there's nothing you can do about Bwipo. The Sion is too tanky. He locks them up, and Massu's able to collect the Quadra.
Eddie's frustration there, trying to get to the backline, at least trade off some better kills, but in the end, that fight launches FlyQuest to 8,000.
And in the beginning of the game, we're talking about the young players on TSW. You know, Hizto and Dyer, the two youngest at the entire tournament. But in North America, you know, this duo of Massu and Busio has been so hyped. It's been one of the keys to success for FlyQuest. They paired their veterans of Inspired and Bwipo with this young North American bottom lane. And Massu and Busio are absolutely, they've been outstanding here with a lot of these Busio plays you know, starting out the play, but Massu as well here. With the confidence on the Corki, especially like the 3v5 in mid lane.
I mean, I love
definitely
that,
fun
man.
to watch.
I love that flair that's like send it, you know, like the Jackie Love style, right? Sometimes it can look bad, but sometimes it looks exceptional. It's that confidence here as Taki's going to TP down to bot. I think this is a flank waiting to happen. The last hurrah for Team Secret Wales to avoid going down
Double
to
TP.
that 1 and 2. It's a great ulti from Hizto. It's a claw of destruction that sets down Massu. It's a pick. It's great, but FlyQuest, they've still got quad alive. And his hero's going to come out of that death realm with Busio running for his life. There's a turret there now standing new heaven here for FlyQuest to sit under it in the sun and land on another kill.
And FlyQuest will collect the rest of the game. They take down 4 of the 5 whales, and they're coming for the Nexus next.
For FlyQuest, it would be a big win, and it will certainly be for the NA faithful. You're looking at this team, and big expectations are met here today. With 11,000 gold in the bank, FlyQuest will hit the Nexus, and the whales weren't enough to crush the mighty Fly.
FlyQuest, they were having fun in that one. Looking fairly relaxed on stage. Congratulations on the victory there. 2 wins now. One more step for them to try and move on to quarterfinals. We will eagerly await that draw.
And they get 2 chances. The best thing about getting to 2 and 1 is you get 2 chances at a best of 3. So if you get a harder opponent for the first one, then at that 2 and 2, you get 1 final chance to progress through. But FlyQuest, a really good showing, a really good level up as well. They didn't succumb to this chaos that is Team Secret Wales. And as you